I bought my daughter a bicycle with my first bonus. Dad slapped her, took IT and gave IT too. My nephew trash don't deserve good things. They didn't expect me to make them beg for mercy. I still remember the way my daughter, Emma, 9 years old with soft hazel eyes and a smile that could outshine any morning, pressed her face against the bike shop window like she was looking at magic itself. "Mom, the blue one," she whispered. "It looks like freedom." That word hit me harder than she knew. Freedom. A thing I'd been begging for all my life in my parents' house but never got. Now, with my first bonus from the job, I fought tooth and nail to earn. I wanted Emma to have everything I never did. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. The salesman wheeled out the bike, shiny blue with little white decals, and Emma's breath shook like she couldn't believe this moment was real. "Is it really mine?" she asked, almost afraid to touch it. "Every piece of it," I said, because for the first time, I could give her something beautiful. We drove to my parents' house because Emma begged me to show them. "Maybe Grandpa will say he's proud of you," she said, clutching the handlebars like they were made of gold. I didn't have the heart to tell her that my father had never in his life said the words, "I'm proud" to me. But I let her believe it. Kids deserve to believe in softness until someone rips it away. Dad was in the driveway, wiping grease off his hands while my mom barked orders at him from the porch. My sister Kara was there with her husband Nate, and their son Mason, a spoiled 12-year-old who treated everything like it already belonged to him. Emma rolled the bike toward my father. "Grandpa, Mom bought me this with her bonus. Look!" Her excitement bubbled up pure and bright. My father's eyes didn't soften. They hardened. "A bonus?" He grunted. "For what? Showing up?" He looked at me like I had committed a crime. "Dad, I worked." He snapped a hand up. "Don't talk back." Before I could stop him, he stepped forward and slapped Emma across the face so hard her head jerked sideways. I froze. Every vein in my body went cold. Emma pressed her palm to her cheek, confused, breath hitching. "Grandpa, I didn't do anything." Dad snatched the bike from her tiny hands. "Kids like you don't deserve things this nice," he growled. Then he turned to Mason. "Take it. You'll use it better." Mason grinned, hopped on, and pedaled circles around us like he was mocking her. Emma's lower lip trembled. She tried to take a step toward him, but Dad shoved her backward with 2 fingers pressed to her forehead. "Trash doesn't get shiny toys," he said. "Your mother never learned that either." I swear I felt something inside me snap. Clean, sharp, final. Mom leaned against the doorframe with her arms crossed, smiling like this was entertainment. "You shouldn't teach her to want things above her level," she said. "She's already too sensitive. She cries too easy, just like you." My sister laughed. "Good thing Mason got it. At least someone in this family isn't pathetic." Emma's tears finally fell, big and silent, and she whispered, "Mom, can we go?" Those words, they scorched me. She wasn't asking for the bike back. She wasn't asking for Papa to apologize, she just wanted to escape, and something inside me shifted away from fear, away from tolerance, and toward something cold and sharp as a blade. I took her hand, turned away from the scene, and my father yelled after me, "Don't you want to walk off like you're someone? You could barely afford gas last month. Don't pretend you're better than us." Emma squeezed my fingers, whispering through tears, "Mom, is Grandpa right? Am the first trash?" I knelt, wiped her cheek, and said in the calmest voice I've ever used, "No, but he's about to learn he can't treat us like it." Because this time, I wasn't walking away in shame. I was walking away to start something they'd never forget, something that would tear into their comfort the way they tore into my daughter's heart. They took from her. So I would take something back, something bigger, something deeper, and it would start tonight. With a plan they'd never see coming, I barely slept that night. Every time I closed my eyes, all I saw was Emma's tiny hand, flying to her cheek, the shock in her eyes, the way my father yanked her bike away like she was stealing something she hadn't earned. My chest tightened so hard it hurt. Rage stayed hot in my throat. But I knew one thing. If I marched back there screaming, he'd win. He lived on chaos. He fed on it. He wanted me emotional so he could call me dramatic. So I didn't go back with shouting, I went back with strategy. The next morning I woke Emma early. She was curled toward the wall, clutching her stuffed bunny like it was a shield. her cheeks still red. "Sweetheart," I whispered, brushing her hair back, "we're going out today." She blinked up at me confused. "Are we seeing Grandpa?" "No," I said, my voice finally steady. "Not ever again. Today we take back what's ours." Her eyebrows knit together. "Mom, he won't give it back." "He doesn't need to give it back," I said, "because I'm not asking." I dropped her at my friend Jenna's house, one of the only people who knew firsthand how cruel my parents could be. She hugged Emma tight. "She can stay all day," she said, her voice low. "Do what you need to do." My hands trembled only once when I turned my car toward my parents' street. I drove the long way past the bike shop where Emma had pressed her nose against the glass, past the park where she had dreamed of riding the blue bike on the trail. By the time I reached their driveway, my nerves were steady fire. Dad was outside again, this time washing his truck. Mason's laughter echoed somewhere in the backyard, the sound of him enjoying Emma's bike. Dad didn't even look up. "You again didn't think you'd have the spine." I stepped closer than he expected, and he finally met my eyes. "You put your hands on my daughter," I said. "And you think I'm just going to let that go?" He smirked. "You always were dramatic. Maybe if you raised her right, she'd learn some respect. You slapped her. She deserved to learn early that she's not special." He shrugged like he was talking about weather. "Neither are you." Every muscle in my body tensed, but I wasn't here to react. I was here to dismantle them. "Where's the bike?" I asked. "Being used by someone better," he said proudly. "Mason appreciates it more." A sound came from behind the house, a wheel scraping, Mason whooping. Then, the unmistakable metal on pavement crash. I didn't even turn. I wasn't here for that. Instead, I walked toward the house. Mom stepped outside as if she'd been waiting. Arms crossed, face pinched. "Oh look," she said. "The disappointment returns. Are you here to cry about the bike?" Pathetic. "Where's Kara?" I asked coldly. "Inside," Mom sneered. "She's upset because you stormed off yesterday. You embarrassed everyone." I walked in without asking permission. Kara was at the dining table scrolling her phone like she didn't burn the world down yesterday. She didn't even look up. "You need something, or are you here to ruin another day?" she asked. I didn't answer. I simply held up my phone and pressed play. The audio recording from yesterday. My father's slap. His exact words. "Trash doesn't get shiny toys." My sister's laughter. My mother's voice telling me I shouldn't teach my oversensitive daughter to want nice things. The color drained from Kara's face slowly then fast. "You recorded us?" she whispered. "No," Mom barked from behind me. "You didn't give me that phone." I pulled away. "Don't touch me." Dad walked in just then, eyes narrowing. He saw the phone, heard the recording, understood instantly what was happening. "You don't have the guts to use that," he said. "You never have." I smiled. A slow, terrifying smile that even surprised me. "Dad, this recording isn't for the police," I said. "It's for something else." He laughed. "And what would that be?" "The bike shop," I said calmly. Mom blinked. "What?" "The place I bought the bike from," I continued. "Where the owner knows me, where the cameras caught me paying for it, where he helped me choose it for Emma. All I have to do is tell him a middle-aged man stole it from a child." Mom scoffed. "That proves nothing." "No," I agreed. "But the footage of Mason riding a brand new blue bike this morning, the one they posted on their neighborhood Facebook page, the one with the same decals, that will prove everything." Kara went pale. "Wait, why would they post it?" "They do it every weekend," I said. "Lost pets, found items, neighborhood reminders, and sometimes kids riding shiny new bikes." Dad's face hardened. "Give us the phone." "No," I said again. "Because I already sent screenshots to Jenna, and I told her if she doesn't hear from me by noon, she posts everything to the neighborhood group chat, the school parent page, the local buy and sell groups everywhere." Mom's voice cracked. "You wouldn't dare humiliate us like that." I stepped closer. "You humiliated my daughter first." Silence. Hard, dense, electric. Then I said the words that made all three of them freeze, "and I'm not leaving without her bike." Dad's jaw clenched. Kara swallowed. Mom looked like she might faint. They knew. This time, I wasn't bluffing. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't scared. I wasn't the little girl they could break and bend. Today, I was someone they should have never created, and I was just getting started. Dad was the first to crack. His chest puffed, then deflated. He wiped sweat from his forehead like he was weighing every possible outcome. Fine, he muttered. Take the stupid bike. But I didn't move, because this was the moment I'd been waiting for my whole life. The moment my parents realized they no longer owned me. Where is it? I asked. In the garage, he snapped. I followed him, Mom and Kara trailing behind like ghosts who had finally met the wall they couldn't bulldoze through. Dad opened the garage. There it was. Emma's bike. Scratched, mud splattered. Handle grips chewed by Mason's nervous biting habit. The sight of it hurt worse than yesterday. You let him destroy it, I whispered. Dad shrugged. It's just a bike. No, I said, my voice low and dangerous. It was her first dream. Kara stepped forward. Can you stop being dramatic for 2 minutes? I turned slowly toward her. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I simply said, you're going to fix it. Her face twisted. Excuse me? You, I said, taking a step closer, are going to clean it, polish it, straighten the bent wheel, replace the torn streamers, and make it look exactly the way it did when I bought it. Mom scoffed. She's not your servant. You made Emma feel like trash, I said. Now you're going to undo the damage. Dad barked out a sarcastic laugh. And why would she listen to you? I pulled my phone from my pocket, tapped the screen. A message thread with the school principal popped up. Mom's face drained instantly. You didn't. Oh, I did. The principal wasn't just a school administrator. She was the head of the new anti-bullying coalition in town. She took community complaints extremely seriously. All I have to do, I said, is send her the clip of you 3 calling my daughter trash, hitting her, taking her belongings, and laughing about it. Mom's voice trembled. You said you wouldn't go to the police. I didn't say anything about the school board. Kara slapped a hand over her mouth. They'll ban Mason from sports. He'll lose his scholarship. And your job at the dentist's office? I added. Pretty sure they don't want staff who assault family members, Mom whispered. You're bluffing. Try me. Silence sliced the room. Then, just like that, Dad cracked again. Kara, he snapped. Go clean the damn bike. Kara didn't move. Dad grabbed her arm. Now she flinched and ran to the bathroom to grab cleaning supplies. Tears already forming. For the first time in her life, she was being forced to face consequences. I stood there and watched her scrub every inch of the bike, watched her hands shake, watched her breathing hitch. Mom hovered by the doorway, whispering, hurry up before anyone sees. Dad glared at me like I'd betrayed him, but I felt nothing because for once they were the ones afraid. When she finished, the bike looked almost new, not perfect but close. Good, I said. Now apologize. Kara froze. You heard me? She swallowed hard. Her lip trembled. She walked toward me slowly, eyes darting everywhere. I'm sorry, she whispered. For what? I asked. She blinked fast. For hitting Emma, for taking her bike, for calling her, she choked. I didn't help her. She forced the words out. For calling her trash, I didn't smile. I didn't soften. I didn't forgive. I simply nodded, picked up the bike and turned toward the door. Mom grabbed my arm. Wait, are you going to send that recording to the principal? I looked her straight in the eye. That depends. On what? She whispered. On whether you ever contact me or my daughter again. Mom gulped. So, we can't see her? No, I said. You lost that privilege yesterday. Dad stepped forward. You can't do that. We're family. You stopped being family the moment you slapped a 6-year-old and handed her birthday gift to someone else. I walked to the door. Mom's voice broke behind me. So that's it? You're cutting us off? I turned around and said the last sentence I would ever say to them. You didn't lose us today. You lost us years ago. Today is just the first time you noticed. And I left. Emma was waiting at Jenna's house. When she saw the bike, clean, polished, beautiful again, her entire face lit up. Mommy, she screamed, running into my arms. You got it back. I kissed her forehead. It's yours, baby, forever this time. She climbed onto it, wobbling a little, then giggled. You fixed it. No, I whispered, watching her pedal down the sidewalk. Hair flying, joy, reborn. You fixed me, and behind us, far behind us, my parents' house stood still and quiet, because this time we weren't returning. And that silence was the loudest revenge of all. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.